Manja. 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 Away two. Inzima lejela. Inzima lejela. Inameva. Iyashaba. Inzima lejela. Inameva. Iyashaba. Sizozabala. Tambo tambo sizozabala. Inzima lejela. Tambo sizozabala. Tambo tambo sizozabala. Inzima lejela. Manja. Kiretu wato wato wa. Kiretu wato wato wa. Kire Mandela ubaka masocha. Ay 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 wato wato wa. Kire Mandela ubaka masocha. Ay 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 wato wato wa. Kiretu wato wato wa. Kire ANC waka masocha. Wetsala. Wirala. Wetsala. Wirala. Thank you very much, Program Director. Thank you very much to the branches of the ANC Youth League in Limpopo, to the leadership of the Youth League in Limpopo led by Comrade Faith, the TG and the NEC members who are here. Also, most importantly, to greet the Mokaba family. There's only 3 Lions of the North. Is Comrade Bidan Chamberlain, is Comrade Bidan Mokaba, is Comrade Collen Malatji. Greetings to the Provincial Secretary of the ANC Youth League in Limpopo, Comrade Chancellor, who happens to be an MPN also. Former leaders of the Youth League who are here, the leadership of the ANC that is present here. I was given a very simple task. My task was to revive and remind you of who you are and why you exist and why the struggle must continue. My task was to remind you that the structure of the economy still does not represent majority of South Africans. My task is to remind you that the highest level of unemployment in South Africa is still young people. My task is to remind you that since 1994, you are still poor. That task is a very difficult but simple. A few weeks ago, in 2002, on the 9th of June, we lost the Lion of the North, Comrade Peter Mugabe. We can't continue the way we're continuing. I've said it in the Northwest, I'm going to say it here again. Parliament is not an old age home. Old age homes are there. Those who want old age homes must go to old age homes. Parliament is a corridor of power. It is not an old age home. You can't make laws and say when people turn 65, they are pensioners. But those who are making the laws are pensioners themselves. Now they are going against the laws they've made. It's illegal for anyone above 65 years to be in parliament. I will say it again, I will say it everywhere. President Ramaphosa is the last president who's a pensioner in South Africa. We will never and we will not elect another pensioner to be a president of South Africa. Pensioners must take care of grandkids, must be advisors, they must live as mayors, they must live as MECs, they must live as premiers, they must live as councillors, they must be at home and advise us while we run this country. We're inspired by a generation of 1976 that fearlessly so they closed all taverns, all breweries everywhere and mobilized South Africans for the liberation of people. It is the youth of this country that liberated South Africa. It is the youth of 1976, it is the youth of 1985 that unbanned the ANC and ushered democracy in this country. When the old were giving up, the youth got revived and say they will not surrender their country to those who want to oppress them. And it's the youth again who's saying on June month that na koya di pensioners le wa bere makolota gore ba ile exile e fedile mokete wa dikatsi le dikatsi nyana o fedile baswa aba tsene makeng. We are not apologetic about it because themselves, when they were younger, they were given big responsibilities to lead this country. Why when it's our turn, we are told we are young? How to say someone who's 25 years is young to lead the country? Because a 25-year-old has a responsibility, can think, can implement, and can lead. Let's go to Mela, Mutua Maga, Baratala Banyane, Mola Wanavane Mutu, Baba Wanavik Maho, Bautuja Chaba, our Bagadin, Lavariage, our Bahira, Varavona, our Baria, Papa Lagino, just simple. And the youth of this country, yourselves here, who have gathered here on June month, I'm here to tell you that there is no one from heaven who's going to liberate you. You are your own liberators. And in the African National Congress yourselves, you are going to take over the ANC and save it from those who are killing it. Every time when the ANC is at its weakest, it is the youth of the ANC that saved the ANC. It is the youth of the ANC in the 40s that created a program of action that formed the armed struggle. It is the youth of the ANC, when days were dark, who went to exile to receive training to come and liberate our people. It is still the youth today, 31 years later, that will liberate the people of South Africa. There is no any other political party that can save the people of South Africa. It is not the African National Congress. But the African National Congress that is led by young, energetic, responsible people. The ANC itself, it is no longer an old age home. Mokito de rap ufedile. ke mokete wa baswa gore ba sware South Africa today. It does not make sense that a country like ours, with so many raw material, the youth of this country are poor. We told the ANC, we told everyone that not more than 70% of our raw material must reach this country. They must remain here to industrialize our economy and create businesses and employment for the youth of this country. If our raw materials remain here, there will be no unemployment in South Africa. How to have unemployed South Africans who are blessed with so many raw materials? Bale wa ile kodesa na verese wona. Veresa belewa kana kwa kodesa. Whatever agreement they've made in Kodesa were not part of those agreements. South Africa, enough is enough. The structure of the economy must reflect majority of South Africans, which are black in majority, which are women, which are youth. The most dispositioned people in this country are black people, are women, and are youth. People who have no minerals are enjoying themselves in London. Those who have minerals are poor. Why charity case, when people want to donate and take videos of poverty, they come to Africa. When they have no minerals themselves, but they are enjoying our minerals. But when they want to take photos of how poverty looks like, they make poverty to look black. How does poverty look black when the black nation is blessed with so many raw minerals? We need to urgently fight for the youth to be included in their own economy. It can't make sense that the ANC government funds NEFSAs, funds universities, funds high schools, but when people graduate, immediately they become unemployed. Why do you put so much money to educate people for them to be unemployed? Why do you pay so much for education for people to be unemployed? Why are we not training the youth of this country to be responsive for their own economic demands of their own country? Because the economy needs artisans, the economy needs engineers, the economy needs agriculture people, the economy needs to be responsive to the economic demand of their own country. Now ourselves as the youth of this country, we must go and skill ourselves to respond, because when we are putting export quotas in this country, those who must run those factories and those businesses, it must be ourselves. But regardless of Iran, youth of South Africa, it can be a youth on drugs and alcohol, while our country is stolen by foreigners every day. Our control is zero in this country. Even a simple thing like a tech shop is run by illegal foreigners. Tech shop, a simple tech shop. It must be run by illegal foreigners who sell illegal goods, who poison our people. Was saying again as the Youth League, no illegal foreigner must run a business in South Africa. You need a Pakistani to sell you magwinya. Why are we irresponsible? We must take over our own country, and all the illegal foreigners must leave this country urgently. All. All the illegal foreigners must leave this country urgently. Johannesburg, Sun City, our towns are taken over by Nigerians and illegal foreigners who are surrendering this country to illegal foreigners every day. You know, when you walk in Hillbrow, you will think you're a foreigner yourself. When you walk in Sunnyside, you will think you're a foreigner yourself. When you walk in Jimiston, you will think you're a foreigner yourself. Because illegal foreigners have taken over our towns, and now they're taking over our townships and our villages. Now, they're going to wake up one day, Le Mohamed Ali, President of South Africa, would have sold the soul of this country ourselves. We are going to be known as a generation that have reversed the gains of freedom. People have died for this freedom. We are reversing the gains of freedom because we don't care about our own country. We are surrendering our country to illegal foreigners every day. We are saying Home Affairs and the police, they must urgently remove the illegal foreigners. Because if they don't do that, we'll have to do it ourselves. We'll have to do it ourselves. If the law enforcement agencies don't clean this country up, the illegal foreigners are bringing drugs in this country. They are bringing crime in this country. If they are not going to act on it, the Youth League of the African National Congress will do it for them. Because this is our country, and we will never surrender the country to anyone. NEFSAS, Musho wa ANC Ubeile challenge from all different backgrounds, whether you are poor, you must access education. Rezenya NEFSAS, Maholu, Aja Chelja Baswa, Bayutwa Bayija, Balefari Fishi, Balroba Sakala, the rest, when there's money that is put aside for the dignity of our people. Minister of Education, urgently, Lukisha Bohodu, Wola Wan NEFSAS, because Mukiti Wamahodu, Ufedi. We are not going to agree where government money that's supposed to resolve the people's problems is stolen by criminals and their families. Corruption is the enemy of the people. Never offer e-wallet where you are handled by your mayors and your MECs. They give you small money. They've stolen a lot. Every time they give you money, you must know that they are giving you 1% of what they've stolen. They are giving you money to silence you, to sell out the youth of this country, because basically e-wallet, Urikisha Chava, Uchapasana Regini, Maragua every day, who post a mayor. Maragua fight every day, who post a premier. Marachapasana Youth League Dirlinga to Afro, he posted a premier. At the expense of the youth of South Africa. We told them, when they wanted me to go to Parliament, back to Parliament, I refused. I said, if all people are demanding you to go to Parliament, you know they want to manage you. But for free, Parliament. That's why I'm the youngest pensioner from Parliament. I've retired there. But I dedicate every day. Country as a pillar. The minerals below the soil here in Limpopo, in Begasport every day, they're stolen by Chinese every day. The people of Begasport are poor, while Chinese and their black friends who are fronting for them are stealing minerals every day in Limpopo. And the youth of Limpopo is quiet. banna o ka ba re youth league e ratiwa ke ANC leadership le di-MEC le tsebe gore ya rekisha. The youth league must be an irritation and an influence to the African National Congress. Youth league ya go ratiwa ke batho ba golo ke youth league ya go rekisha eng. Ke ba so ba yuang ba batho ba golo ba bolla ga botse every day. Comrade Faith, since I'm there to the house, I've never received a complaint from the ANC leadership here in Limpopo that the youth league is giving them headaches. Boston Matabata lebo comrade Madaje, bano itsamayela mo Limpopo ba itirela. Youth league khumuleje, bano woka woka, youth league ena mabona ina selo, bano kitima kitima. Bo Faith bo Bobo, bano smile. Mara kwa bona bo smile mo. When the youth is unemployed, when the youth are graduates on the streets, when the youth is in poverty, when the youth is dispossessed from their own economic activity of their country, the leadership of the youth league is smiling. They must never find peace until all the youth in this country are employed. Every month, Faith ya gola, kota tša mogolo ka moka, a o fe office ya youth league, or etwele pele mobilizer for the youth to be positioned in their own economy. A ka se dule mahala, kwa parliamentary house, a ijaga botse kwa, ba swabla. Every time Comrade Faith a reka bega, koza go pola gore ona le moswa sa yang le holo. That is the youth we want. We want a fearless youth league. You came here today because you want your spirit to be revived. You came here today because you have hope that in June month, the Youth League of the African National Congress is not a youth league in pockets of elders and tenapreneurs. Kiane, malamule. Utule chelete kwa, ya kufaka meti, makodu ya ijile kwa. Meti ya gona kiane malamule. Makodu ya ijile chelete meti kwa. The youth league is quiet. Makodu every day. Bafwa di tenda ba re ba faka meti, mara meti a tshimo di pumping. Our families, our mothers, our sisters, every day, whether it's Kukune, Mopane, Vembe, Banale Matata meti, mara every year, while tenda ya 0.1, ya ba tongo tina meti. Makodu a utwa, aba utwa, but ANC a utwa. ANC la utwa jamang. Problem, ke magodu wala tlogetseng la kheta a tsena ka mara di structures the ANC. The ANC has never stolen from anybody. The problem is the criminals that send you e-wallets every day that you elect who steal from the poor. Now in this June month, you must revive your conscience. Iba gormechi e-wallet maobane ijela mafelelo. From today, the youth league is the youth league of the people of South Africa. You can't sleep at night when your neighbor doesn't have water. Problems. After you are elected Nyana as the chair of the youth league of the region or province, we are going to lose 2026 elections if we don't fix our local government. We take the best of our people to parliament, we take the West to local government. That formula does not work. How do you take the best to parliament and where you are needed the most in local government, you take your West? They can't even open a document. Municipal managers every day mislead them. Now the youth here, it's educated. This youth here is the one that must be mayors, is the one that must be councillors, is the one that must be parliament managers. Those ones that we have paid them already. From 94 until now, it's called those fedile. At this level now, we want the youth of the ANC to take over power in all corridors of power. We want the youth here to be CEOs. We want the youth here to be directors. We want the youth here to be in charge of everything that has to do with power in this country. Because you, comrades, the ANC has educated you, has equipped you to take the country forward. Now the gatekeeping that is happening, it must end. How khonahal? 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 If I need it to arsa khona re khamerile re lapile ko sona ka magodu re nako e tshwarela ntwe. Your problems are known by yourselves, and it's yourselves who can resolve your problems. There is no miracles that will come here and resolve your problems if you don't stand up as the youth. We can't be a weak youth league. Why youth league elected at a time where the ANC is at its weakest? It means it's a calling from the ancestors of the ANC that were the ones who can rescue the ANC. Every time the ANC is at its weakest, a generation comes and saves the ANC. And I believe me and you here were a generation that will save the African National Congress and take it back to be at the parliament of the people, to be an organization of integrity and respect in South Africa. The ANC can no longer be a face of corruption. But why ANC? But say we welcome the chair. For all of you like waleng, ndoma toma le riang la VIP, rega yo ba utura le ja chiri jabat. La tibiwa. For all of you like chair, but say ba VIP, bodi ga jalla di pusha batho, le tella di community la telela. You are no longer role models of what is the best of society. You have become gangsters and arrogant people in our communities. The renewal project of the ANC must correct that. You look at what about the what's also very how jola. Ujola you are not airtime, was not data, was a whole lord bana, or regular one about to Peganyan. Ugas kholo jola, was not chalete. Now, when you are unemployed, they've stripped you away from your dignity. Even the smallest things you can't do it. Fella, I love you, baby. What are we South Africa mo? Go to la fela di mayor di MM lena alina selo ka sono jola. That's why le tshela batho mayua lenga ba re alina sa go reka. Re nyaka sa go reka gore re gone o ntsha batho ba rena le rena banna nkere o dula McDonald's ge. Wa tsa go go lobi mafela go no ya McDonald's. Or o jamalana ga mo gausu mo. Bana o mo teflop bana palla go no ntsha motho a ge fela ya go jamalana mmalaneng mo ka mo next door. Ka bana sa go reka. Na re ba swa ka mo South Africa go se ba beletsa go reka. O go tse motho le skobo so a swana le nna mara ba re sore bana ba botse ka bona sore mokotli ka be mokotla ne mokotla o ri di kobo di jole skobo so bona gore se sona se ga be sna child be ka se jole motho the chama boy, naturally, I don't know Jola because they are dispositioned from their own economic activities. But we see because Abana challenge. Wana mudimu ko tole maka mukise ka khanga mutola ka banana challenge. Now the issue of the economy is personal, comrades. The issue of the economy is personal. It is not a joke, because when you are not participating in your own economic activities of your own country, you are dispositioned, and it's personal because even your dignity is taken away. But every time poverty is expensive. Poverty is expensive. And we must be a generation that takes the economy to the hands of our people. The generation of Anton Lembete, the generation of Nelson Mandela, they fought for political freedom. The generation of Peter Mokaba, they fought for freedom, for political freedom. Our job now is to fight and win the battle for economic freedom now, not later. We can no longer postpone this struggle because it's personal. Now, every time Opalago Romela message, you must know that the reason you have no data, the reason you have no airtime, the reason your girlfriend was taken away or your boyfriend was taken away, it is because you don't have money. Now the battle is personal. Now, comrades, this personal battle we're fighting, we must make sure as a generation we win this battle. And we can no longer achieve it with pensioners in parliament and in corridors of power. Pensioners must go home, they must give us space to fight for the total liberation of our people. Bana abasara bokoko le botata mogolo kwa gae ka no botata mogolo ba mmereko. Now I was saying, when you live here today in celebrating the generation of 1976, you must know that the battle for liberation of our people is personal. It affects us, it has taken a lot from us, and this battle is a battle that all of us here we must unite and win. Thank you very much.
President.
Ole batambo, tuyele makaya tina, inaganja.
Wewe nyamaza, wewe nyamaza, wewe nyamaza, wewe nyamaza. Ay, sale sate.